This car had some little nicks in it from rocks from following gravel trucks over the years. I have used the factory paint touch-up, so I've filled all of them in. Now I'm going to knock them down with a razor blade, and I'm going to do some wet sand. And I'm just going to be using distilled water as my medium. Then I'm going to be doing some paint correction. I have my G9 and my G8, and I'll be using the orange pad. There's my razor blade. I put masking tape on either side of it to raise the blade up just enough, and my light so that I can see it going down. Perfect. Just got just enough off of the top. Now I just used the very corner of that with the 400 grit because all I'm trying to do is just get it down to the level of the paint. Spray it with the water. This is wet, I just sprayed it. And now I'm not putting any pressure on it at all. I'm just running it over the high part of that paint. And then I can see when it's completely flush with the paint. And there we go. That was a really bad one too. I'm using the 1000 grit right now, and I'm just going over all the places that I did the 400 on. And this time I'm not just doing the touch-up paint, which was sitting really high on the paint, but I am also doing the scratches. Here's some touch-up paint that I did. I'm going over it, and here's a scratch. But this time I'm also focusing on little scratches. And this 1000 is just, it's eating right through those little scratches. And I'm hardly putting any pressure on at all. Just enough to get that scratch out. I've gotten rid of the worst of it. I've knocked everything down. It all looks just a little dull in those places. Just have to buff it out. I've taped off, and I'm going to start doing some polishing on the car. Shine this up after doing some wet sanding on some really bad spots there, and hopefully get some good results. Butter the pad a little bit, get some product in here, and then I'm going to press it against the hood. I'm going to do small sections. I'll start up here at the top. So I don't throw it everywhere when I turn it on. And make sure the cord's over my shoulder. I'm going to start off on 1, and then once I get going, I'm going to ramp it up to, I think, number 4. And see how this spot goes. I did 2 cross hatches, one going this way and one going that way. I'm gonna wipe this off with my microfiber towel. What I learned from that pass was that up where there's really not much going on with the paint, that's doing great. As I get down here where there are issues with the paint, it's really not taking care of them. There's a lot of swirls. I've done some paint correction on this Lexus, and now I'm going to polish it. I've already gone over half of this hood with the perfecting cream, and it wasn't good enough. You can see there's still some swirls in here. Let me get my pen. And scratches that it didn't take out. So what I'm going to do is move it up to the correcting cream. Put like 4 or 5 dots on here, and I'm going to pat it down and smooth it out, and then I'm going to start off on speed number 1, and I'll start doing my cross hatching on speed number 4. First, I'm going to get my panel prep spray. I'm going to do this quarter of the hood right here. My panel prep spray is a 91% isopropyl alcohol 25% with 75% distilled water. Just taking off any of that old wax so that it doesn't get stuck in my pad. Okay, let's wipe that off. That looks a lot better. I think I have my technique now. I'm going to go the correcting cream, and then I'm going to go over it with another pass of the perfecting cream, and that on the heavily marred spots like this was, because you can almost not see at all where any of that wet sanding was done. So it's doing a really good job. On the places that don't have all the issues, I'm just going to go over it with the perfecting cream. Then I'll give it a good wax and call it a fine day. That was another pass with the correcting cream. I'm going to put the perfecting cream on it, call it a good day. And all these little swirls hopefully will go away with the perfecting cream. I went in to take a break, so I'm not going to use this pad again. I'm going to wash it out. I'm going to grab a new fresh pad. Just don't want to put anything dry that might end up scratching the car on here. So I'm going to really rinse it out well, and then I'm going to go over it with microfiber and foam pad cleaner. I'll see if I can do this while I'm on with you. Start on one. Spread it out. And I'm going to turn this one up to 5 because I'm on my G9, my G8, not my G9. All right, now that was going over it with the correcting cream. Now I'm going to go over it with the perfecting cream. And in between each pass, I'm going to clean out my pad. And now I'm going to go to the perfecting cream. All right, well, a vast improvement. Now I'm going to tape off the sunroof. I have just finished doing two-step polishing with an aggressive polish and then a really light finishing polish. I'm going to throw my pad away now. I was using the orange pad on my Griot Garage G9 and my G8 in the tighter spots. And now I'm going to go over the car twice with Best of Show Wax by Griot Garage. And I'm going to go over it once with a light coat. I'm going to leave it for 2 hours to cure without wiping it off. And then I'm going to go over it a second time and then I'll wipe it off. I've put so much time into this car. I want to make sure it has a really good coat on it. I'm going to do a ceramic coat on it, but I can't do that until it warms up because I don't have a garage to work in. So temperature has to be between, I guess, 65 and 70 degrees before you can apply the ceramic. So for now, I'm just going to put on this Carnauba based Best of Show wax, 2 coats of that, and call it a fine day. But this is the car just polished. I'll let you see what it looks like before I get going. This is after doing a 2-step polish on it. And I have not put any wax on it yet. So I have not yet wiped off my last layer of polish, so I'm going to do that now. Then I'm going to get going on this 2-step waxing. It's their black pad by Griot's Garage. It does a teeny little bit of correcting. So I'm going to do my first pass with the Best of Show wax on the black pad. When I finish with that, I'm going to go over it with the red pad, which is made for waxing. So I'm just going to start loading up my pad. It's raining outside again, so I have the first coat on the car of the Best in Show wax, and it's been curing for about 2 hours. So in about 2 hours you're supposed to be able to go over it with another coat and then wipe it off. But because it's raining, I'm instead going to use this time to polish all the glass. So I'm going to use the fine glass polish by Griot's Garage, and I'm going to use my G8, which is my 3-inch, and I'll be using the orange pad with that, and we'll see how that goes. These are all polished now. I went over them in a crosshatch, and of course it wipes off with complete ease because it's glass. So it's nothing at all to get this off. The glass is perfectly clean on the outside now. I have not cleaned the inside. That's going to be the very last thing that I do. But it looks really good. I did that with the fine glass polish by Griot's Garage, and with just a regular orange pad on the G8. So that's the 3-inch. The first coat of Best of Show wax by Griot's Garage is on, and you're supposed to let it sit about 2 hours if you're going to do what I'm doing right now. Let it sit 2 hours without wiping it off, and then go over it again. It's been raining here. It's finally stopped. So now I'm going to go over it. I'm going to pull the masking tape off. I don't need that anymore. The first coat I went over with the black pad because it does some correcting. This one I'm going over with the red pad because that is just for wax. Then I'll just clean up anything that needs to be cleaned up. I'm going to go over all rubber trim with Jack's Wax ceramic sealer, and Jack's Wax ceramic detailer, and then I'm going to clean the interior glass, and this car's done. I'm losing light, and I want to get this wax taken off quickly, so I'm going to use microfiber polish removal bonnets over an orange pad. I hope you liked the video. If you did, please press like or subscribe, and I'll be doing some other things on here. Usually it'll be car detailing things. Have a good day.